Mic check. Mic check, mic check. Mic check. Can you press 1 if you can hear me? Live and direct. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, all right. Thank you, Wise Feminine. All right. So I thought I was going to have to wait, but the wife hooked me up so I can go ahead and finish. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and roll. Because this will be posted up, and anybody who wants to watch it can go back. Sorry about the back and forth, but you know, have to do what you got to do. But I'm glad that I was able to go ahead. Come on and finish up. Okay. So this last part now. Let's see where I want to start. Okay. I'm going to move the camera around. We're going to get this last part popping. Let's see where we're going to start. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Let's do it. Once again, I apologize for the back and forth, but we back. Camera crooked. Okay. So we start out with the first word I want to look at here is victim. Keyword mentioned in the movie. Okay. Now, victim, you remember at a point in the movie, Candyman was like, be my victim. Okay, victim comes from this root, UEIK, Roman numeral 3. All right. And it means divination. Okay. The Latin is victima. Victima is beast. Okay. Beast for sacrifice. And it says in ancient times, the entrails were the sources for prophecy. Rudolf Steiner writes about this too. Germanic Wicca. This comes from the same root. Wicca, wizard, wiki, witch. Okay. Now, what I did though is that I wanted to get deeper into this word divination. Okay. So divination comes from this root, DEI. Okay. DEI means clear, the bright sun. So, victim, if we tie all this together, victim ties back to this clear, bright sun. This is what's interesting about language. Language shows paradox. It shows conflict, but it also shows resolution for the conflict, because within one word, you'll find like this bipolar nature within a single word. Because at first glance, let's just be honest, victim is not anything any of us want to be associated with. Nobody signs up to be the victim. Okay? Let's just be honest with ourselves, okay? But what the language shows, though, is that it gives a resolution for what seems to be just a reckless word that's associated. Divination, clear, bright sun. All right? Let's go further. We have another word here that's prominent in the movie, sacrifice. Okay? The first part of the word comes from S-A-K, sack. The last part, fice, F-I-C-E, comes from the root D-H-E. Okay? So let's break them down. Sack, to make whole, or make holy or whole. D-H-E-1. Set down, make, shape, fact, face. Now we got to pause right there for a second. Let me grab me a marker, because I think that's interesting. I think it's very interesting, because there's a character that we're all familiar with, a deity, and the name is Horus. Okay. All right. Horus is also called Heru. Okay. Now, Heru is where we get Jehu. Okay. Now, Jehu, when it becomes Jerusalem, or even without it, let's just leave the salam off. One of the renderings of Jehu is face. The great face. Horus, the great face. So sacrifice is to make Horus, or the great face, whole again, because you know the story. You know, Horus it's that old story again. It's always this story. The Osiris story, always, right? Make the face whole again. All right. Surrender. It's another word that we can deal with sacrifice because we can understand as an adult. You can understand the necessity of sacrifice. You know, long as it's not some, you're not being tied to some rock and getting all your arteries cut. But basic sacrifice in life as an adult, that's something that's part of maturity. You understand you got to make some sacrifices. Okay. But here's another word that, just like victim, it's sometimes hard to get into this word, surrender. That definitely can have a negative connotation behind it. Let's look at it. Sir, Upo 3, subgroup I, render from the root do as in do. Okay, so Upo 3, sir, via French, a variant of super, Upo, near, down, under, up from under. Okay, which this is also where we get the word evil. Evil. Okay. Now, render, trace back to do. Do means to give. Dose, dare, donate, dot, pardon. These are words that come out of this family. Date, a given point in time. But let's go back here and hold our horses. Give. Remember, on the other side of the board, we trace back Bernadette. The last part of her name, debt, we trace that back to Ghebh, okay, which means to give and receive. So surrender is the giving part, okay, or render, is the giving part. And the sir is the reception, so to speak, because this is Anthony in the movie. This is Anthony. Remember, Anthony means precious, of inestimable wealth or worth. And this is what evil really means from Upo. It means precious jewel. Precious jewel that is near, down, under, coming up from under. So surrender is giving to receive. Does that make sense? I hope it's making sense. This don't seem like I'm just trying to stretch here. Okay. And if you look over here to the side, I wrote a little note. Release, give the evil for life. What the etymology does is it helps to strip away the negative covering or coating that is presented with words. Evil definitely has a negative connotation. Surrender, victim, you know what I'm saying? So we're digging into these things because that's what they call an occult blind. It's meaning that something's put on the surface to turn away those who are not worthy of what is beneath the surface. Okay, which is the basic premise behind the monster and the maniac and the killer in the movie. Just like it's the basic premise behind Cain. Cain killed Abel. But we see Canaan is a worker of metal. Abel is fruit. So Cain engulfed or digested the fruit. If fruit is not digested, i.e. killed, it cannot complete its journey. You see what I'm saying? It can't complete its journey. And that's the paradox that's presented in a movie such as this. Shows a paradox of life, so to speak. Let's see. Let me move this up. Let's go to part 3 here. And you see, he says, in one part, he says, I am rumor. Okay. So let's break that down. Rumor, R-E-U. Now, if you remember, this is an anagram of root, because what's an anagram? An anagram means to flip something. So rumor my kids and getting a hold of my markers. Rumor, look at this. See that? Okay. And when we looked at the word Ruthie, we traced it back to R-U-E. That root. That's an anagram. The anagram means the same letters are used to construct a different word, basically. Okay? So if Ruth, let's go back. Let me turn back in my notes to Ruth so I don't misspeak. Ruth. Okay, Ruth. Pain, ruh, sorrow, sorry. Okay. Then we see here, R-E-U is imitative of the sound of wind or animal cries. Rudra, Vedic god of storms. Latin, ruger, below. Raucous, riot, roar, rough. In some ways, we can see the same thing played out in these two words. A violent storm, you know, the anagrammatic spelling of it produce pain, sorrow, sorry. You see what I'm saying? But this all ties into part of the story. So just hold tight. Let's keep moving. Believe, L-E-U-B-H, lub. It's another prolific grouping there, lub. Now, desire, love, hence trust. Latin, libet, desires, libido. Germanic, love, lovely, lovable, life. And these are the notes here. Desiring the realization of, and loving and trusting the life that is inside. Okay? Hold tight. We're going to put it all together. Innocent. Two roots. A-I-U-N-E-K. A-I-U. Vital force. Long life. Eternity. Greek. Eon. Latin. Aetus. Aetus. Avum. Age. Okay? Neck. N-E-K. Damage, destroy. Greek, necros, corpse. Necator, genius of hookworm, I think. Greek, nectar. Sanskrit, terrace. Overcoming. Nectar, the drink of the gods, conveying immortality. Okay, so let's back this up now. Let's back this up because what we're going to try to do is summarize the movie through the language here. I'm going to try to summarize this movie. Let's see here. That definitely ain't gonna work. Okay. I want to start here at number one. And with all these words, I numbered them. One, two, can't see three over there. I'll move it over there when it's time. I need to have my handheld, so my gimbal, so I can move this thing. This movie, in summary, is a soul becoming clear as the bright sun. In becoming clear as the bright sun, it becomes whole. As it becomes whole, it gives, it receives. For this to occur, it must go through a series of storms. In the midst of the storm, it learns what it desires, what it loves, what it trusts. Thus, it discovers what life really is. It discovers its own vital force. And in discovering its own vital force, it achieves long life, eternity, excuse me. It sees that through being damaged and destroyed, it produced nectar. And its nectar would be the fresh manna or eternal juice that would overcome. Thus, it becomes immortal. Does that sound crazy? Does just sound like it's just... And this is where I want to go with this. This is something I've been wrestling with. Something I've really been wrestling with. Now, this is going to sound kind of crazy. Where do we go from here? Because here's the tough thing. And I'm trying to figure out how to go at this. I think there's a difference between Black consciousness and Black awareness. And I'm just saying this because, and put aside all of the, the arguments about the names. This just, because in this conversation, it really don't even fucking matter. So we're just gonna go with the label of Black. Black awareness and Black consciousness and then consciousness. you got to allow your mind to expand here. I'm not quite sure that there was ever supposed to be a black consciousness to the point that it has come to now. Because it can become a hindrance. Hear me out. Black awareness is one thing, because you got to sit and ask yourself this question. And just think about how we broke down this movie. And it's the journey of a soul. Is it the end all be all for me to recognize that I'm first, I'm the greatest, I built all of the monuments, I traversed the planet? Was that the end all of all this journey to come to that conclusion? Because everything being done now is to make that aspect of the journey as the end. And I think that's the ultimate trick. I think it's the ultimate trick. I think partly through studying the language and just living for 43 years, that if melanin, one of the origins of that word is melos, is to cook. Just think about this. Cook or ripen. When a fruit is ripening, it is cooking. That is suffering. So now you got to go back and you got to think now, why would the first template of God come to earth with this melanated body? It would be to have the greatest ability to endure suffering. But suffering for what? And then again, we go back to we just talked about zero. Zero as Isis, as cipher, suffer, and as no thing. So that as things start to merge, as in numbers, as in states, as in nouns, as in names, these are all things. She taught the cultivation of wheat, which etymologically traces back to things. Then that would mean that my Black awareness is only at best a midpoint of the journey. All the shit that's going on now has placed Black awareness as the end of the journey. That's a fucking trick. Hear me out. That's a trick. Because if you say, one, that my main problem is this other race or these other races, this and that, I have now elevated them to the status of, if I want to create the polarity of a God and a devil, I've promoted this group to deific status. Because now, if I'm a deity, then I've made this group or that group a deity because they're on the level to battle with me, and that's all that ever mattered. The Black awareness is supposed to be understanding the responsibility of being the first. I'm a parent of 4 children, and it shows you not just about life, but about the cosmos. Each one of them, my daddy told me about my siblings. He said, each one of y'all, I see some traits in you, you know. Keith is the crazy one. Keith done been shot 7 times, still alive. Keith is crazy. Frederick can't have no friends. Frederick runs off all his friends. Gary, God bless him, he passed in 2012. Gary was the lover. All the women love Gary. Okay. There's me. I guess I'm like kind of the divergent. I'm a little bit of all of that at some point in my life. I look at my children. My Gemini is a know-it-all, but she's brilliant, but she can take it too far. My oldest, the Pisces, is always in space. She's an artist, always in space. My son, another Pisces, emotional. My Sagittarius, stubborn. Fire, all fire everywhere. But I see an aspect of me in them, and I also see a responsibility to cultivate them, because they are, not to belittle, but they are things that I co-created. So my Black awareness is equivalent of me coming to the point of realizing I'm the parent. I'm the parent. I'm the parent. I was here before you. I'm the parent. I created you. And that's it. And if I don't cultivate them, I got some little fucked up monsters going on in the world that's going to go and wreak havoc on the world. So the easy part is recognizing that I'm the parent. The hard part is the fucking cultivation of my children. Yeah, each one of them got their own journey at the end of the day. But once I realize I'm the parent, I am responsible for cultivating them. Too much is being done to play to your motherfucking emotions. The world is moving into air. That does not mean over intellectualizing things. But we have been in dense earth, watery energy. And now we're moving in the air. You must be able to step back and see the big picture, because everything's being played to emotion. What we looked at here, this is not off topic. This ties right in with Candyman. Because that suffering, that this movie is all about suffering. But it is not, it is natural to want to rebel against the suffering, because on a human level, it ain't fair. But if you're God, it don't fucking matter, because it's your game that you created. You created this child. Now you must cultivate it. I hope I'm making sense. I hope I'm making sense. This movie is about cultivation. You find victimization in this. Ain't it funny that everybody now is playing on the connotative level, is playing the victimization game? But see, if we're going to be victims, let's be real fucking victims. Let's be victims as in divination. As in, see clear. Shine bright like the sun. Clear. You see what I'm saying? If I'm going to be making a sacrifice, I need to know my sacrifice is to make myself and the cosmos whole again. If I'm going to surrender, I'm not surrendering to a man or a woman or a race or whatever, or a system. I surrender to my divine essence, to my understanding of my role. And if I do my part, my role, then the collective will naturally fall into place. Ain't it funny? We, us, we, us, we, us. Let me tell you something. I've seen motherfuckers go to lectures and all this shit. Listen to me. The most revolutionary thing you can do is, if you're a parent, is to raise your motherfucking kids. You know what my daddy told my brother? And I know I'm rambling right here. My daddy told my brother one time, you ain't got no time to fucking volunteer. He didn't say that. My dad had to be real mad to say fucking motherfucker. That's me. That's my mother side of me, admin. Harrisons are professional cussers. He said, you ain't got no time to do no volunteering. He said, if your he was basically saying, if your money ain't right, you ain't got time to worry about, I'm gonna go out here and work with these kids and do this and that. My daddy was giving game right there. Again, words have two sides. When we hear the word being selfish, selfishness has a negative ring to it, negative connotation. But if I'm not selfish, I become more shit to fuck up the world. Selfishness on the flip side means take care of your motherfucking home. All the attention's on we, us, us. What about your motherfucking kids? What about your house? See, it's a game. Looking here, looking there, looking all over here. Looking. And ain't looking right here. And I know this don't apply to everybody. Everybody ain't got kids, this and that, but it's people in my position. You see these motherfuckers bouncing around on the internet talking about they doing this for the people and doing that. I want to know, motherfucker, what you doing for your kids? I want to see how they act, how they conduct themselves. If they come around, if you want to take a bat and you know, and run them off. Life is simple. And what is going on now is it's been turned into a Hollywood game. But the movie reminds us to give up. Give up your pretentiousness. Give up your fucking status. Because Helen was a rising, she was on her way to get her PhD. She had to give all that shit up. Candyman said they will all turn against you. The only thing that you'll have left is my desire for you. Desire, love, trust, life. That's what desire is, ultimately. I hope this all shit ain't this shit is. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm telling the way I see this shit. If you're gonna be a motherfucking god and a goddess, then that shit don't come without fucking responsibility. You got to see the whole picture, because just think about this shit. We always romanticize the idea that before such and such, it was the earth was all covered with melanated people, this and that. Well, if the shit was that great, how did it fucking fall? And that's not to say to disparage. Understand what I'm saying. That means that obviously that's not the end all to get back to where it's just, you know, we got to this and that and that and this and get back to us and our and that. Obviously that was not the end all. Black awareness versus Black consciousness. Black awareness is an individual journey. Sadly, Black consciousness is another vehicle of capitalism. If there was no shit to go on and on about, most people on the internet wouldn't have a motherfucking thing to say if that was not a problem to talk about. Hear what the fuck I said. If there was not no shit going on, the average motherfucker wouldn't have shit to bounce around in front of a camera about. You've been played. You've been played. I'm not saying you, I'm just saying, shit, me included. You know how fucking disheartening that shit is? But it's something that's got to, for my own process, it's just something I got to just, because fuck it. We're just going to keep on talking. Fuck it. I've never been in the in crowd. Never been in the in crowd. Always been on the, look, I'm a fucking Aquarius. And now that's just one part of my chart, okay? I was made to be a lunatic. My sun is in Aquarius. My moon is in Cancer. So although I can be very detached, I am a very sensitive and caring person. But I have, for the most part, I have mature emotions. Cancer is the moon's ruling sign, okay? So I feel compelled to start having some conversations that I've been hesitant to have, and I feel like it's all lining up as supposed. Look, we're going into fucking Aquarius. Most of the shit on the fucking internet is Piscean. Most of this motherfucking shit is set up about a motherfucking connotative idea of because we said what belief means etymologically. Belief is desire, love, trust, life itself. But connotatively, belief is fucking following some shit. That is Piscean. We're leaving that realm. There is no more fucking us and we. That's the biggest fucking scam. Because you know the truth. And I'm not saying everybody who says that is a scammer. Let me be clear. Because there are very sincere people who want to move the people collectively. I'm talking about there are some motherfuckers who are not. Trust me when I say this shit. I've been sitting back watching all the bullshit. Because don't you know this? When you've been on this planet for a while, you know that it is hard to get 3 people to agree on the color of the motherfucking sky out there. So all this shit about we need to come together, you know it's some fucking bullshit. Because that means if we come together, we got to come together on what the fuck. I believe we need to come together secretly. It's about it's all a fucking pyramid scheme. I'm at the top of the fucking pyramid. So what I say secretly is what we need to come together on. Motherfuckers know that we at a pivotal point in history. Do you know that right now you're living at a time, if the earth exists 1,000 years from now, the times you're in There are going to be new mythologies written about right now. Somebody's going to be a Jesus. Somebody's going to be a Moses. Somebody's going to be a fucking Abraham. This is a pivotal point in fucking human history. Forget the dumb shit. So what's going on is motherfuckers are trying to position themselves to be a deity 1,000 years from now. It ain't about no motherfucking we. That's bullshit. Aquarius is the age of individualism. The whole will be healed when you heal your motherfucking ass. Check. And again, I'm in the moment. I'm not directing this. This is broadcast. This shit gonna go out. So it's not directed at you who, it's just I'm in the moment. So I sit back, and when I brought up, I said I never fit in. That's what this message is. Fuck fitting in. Fuck that shit. I never fucking fit in. And it was for a reason, for a time such as this. I don't give a fuck who don't like me. I don't give, because let me tell you something. Everybody talks shit on the internet. Okay? It is a tool of cowardice. Because no sane motherfucker is, we're not even gonna go there. The point is this. Miss Hazel Turner said, be what you is. Be what you is. So I'm just being what the fuck I is. I'm the outcast. I'm on the outside. But it allows me to be sincere. Take me or leave it. Fuck it. The movie, the message is surrender. Surrender. I got something else to say. Ain't it funny how, like, let's just say like Oprah Winfrey has spent decades talking about relationships. And what fucking evidence do we have that she knows about having a successful relationship? Iyanla Vanzant, I used to watch when I went to my mama's 2 years ago. I sat and watched her shows and watch her belittle men. And I told my mom, I said, well, what's the evidence that she knows how to make a relationship work? So this is what that's Piscean. Piscean, and it's not just picking on them. Can I keep it all the way to fucking 100 with you? Give me a 1 in the comments if I can really motherfucking keep it 100 with you. Let's see. Maybe y'all tired of hearing this shit. Let's see. I got 1. Fuck it. That's enough. The biggest scam, I picked up on this shit a long time ago. Can I tell you one of the number one? Me and the homeboy I do music with, that we talk about this shit all the time. That what a lot of people have done is they besmirch and disparage the church. But these motherfuckers run the same model that the church runs in another venue. You know, I used to be a personal trainer. All right. Oh, I'm still technically a personal trainer, but I don't fucking, I don't really, advertise. But when I was really going and really doing it, most of my clients were women. If a woman sees something that she wants, she will not, more likely than a man, and I'm just not to disparage men, but that's, come on. Women will spend money. If they see some shit they want, they'll spend money. All right? So when you go into church and the preacher goes to seminary or cemetery, he is taught to preach to the itching ear. I learned that from Jeremiah Camara. But I already knew it though, because I already had peeped the game. The preacher gonna preach to the itching ear. So he's gonna tell the women basically that Jesus is your man, but if you need to get fucked, always know pastor's here to fuck you. Okay? But he ain't gonna say that across the pulpit, but that's a subliminal message. The reason your man ain't here is because the nigga ain't shit. Basically. And if she's already mad at him and that becomes that shoulder for her to lean on, guess what she's going to be? She's going to spend money where she's being fed. She keeps that church going because she's more loyal than a man. A man's fickle. Motherfucker will run in a heartbeat. Okay? Woman is more loyal. She going to stay there and pay them tithes. Well, what the fuck goes on in any other venue? The same shit. Whether you're a fucking personal trainer, the women gonna come. Men gonna come around. Most fucking men gonna be too intimidated. I want no other motherfucker showing me. I know how to work out. Motherfucker gut sticking out here. Look like a fucking freezer. I know how to work out. A woman's gonna say, I need help. Do you? So you helped all these people? My friend so-and-so recommended you. How much do you charge? Same thing. So I would have been stupid. I catered most of my shit to women. Same, but I wasn't ripping them off. They got what they came for. These motherfuckers pull the same game that the preacher played. The black woman is God. She's a goddess. All this shit. Motherfucker got 15 fucking kids running around the world. You need the relationships. Motherfucker, where your relationship? Beat me in the head, but I ain't about shit. It's a fucking game. Do you know that until we accept the armor of being gods, what really got to fucking go on? You know what's got to go on? Some fucking healing. Not no motherfucking trying to boost somebody up and then you create more animosity between them and anybody else that had to have a relationship with because you keep feeding them and tell them niggas ain't shit. But you slowly in the DMs trying to, chase, oh, I'm here, I'm going to be such and such, I'm going to be such and such. You ain't trying to really heal no fucking relationships. You know what healing starts in my own fucking family. I feel like I'm partly burdened for healing some fucking shit in my bloodline. Do you know the secrets that go on in black people's families, just like every other motherfucker's families that we don't talk about? Do you know my mother's father was an old fucking man and my grandmother was 15 years old when she gave birth to my mother? Do you know my uncle's father was an old motherfucking man and my grandmother was 18? So what was going on? Fucking molestation. Child predators. Everybody talking about the fucking damn Bill Clinton and QAnon. What about the fucking child predators in your fucking family, motherfucker? Do you know my grandmother Mary is a product of a rape? My great-grandfather, John Henry Jenkins, raped my great-grandmother, Leela Grant. And she got motherfucking castigated by her no good ass fucking sisters for the rest of her fucking life because she was raped at fucking 14 years old. That's the shit that goes on in our world, and we don't fucking deal with none of this fucking shit. Fuck what's going on outside. I got my own fucking wounds to heal, and you do too. That's why all this fucking we us shit ain't about shit. The work is internal. I got to figure out how to have a fucking damn positive relationship. And it ain't the shit to be aired out on the fucking internet. I don't need to browbeat a motherfucker about a relationship. I just need to figure out how to make mine work. Because my fruits will display my works, my good works. All tied in, all ties in with Candyman. The sweets to the sweet, baby. I know I done put on a motherfucking. I don't win. I don't win on. I don't win. I don't win. I done lost my motherfucking mind. I've lost my motherfucking mind. You know, let's say when Jacob came out the womb, of course it's a mythology. They say he grabbed on the back of Esau's heel. Esau means destruction. And, you know, we hear all of it. Esau is the white man. Again, you study the language. Why is it that he grabs the heel? And Esau means destruction. Because the word heel ties back to destruction. But ain't it funny that phonetically heel, as in destruction, is heal, as in making whole? Everything, whether it's Candyman, any mythology, pick one. The Fisher King, the Vedas, the Gitas, the Quran, I got the shit all in all through here. Healing is not cool. Healing is not trendy. Healing is not what's in. Healing is laborious. Healing is hard. Healing and having a working, working relationships in this life is some of the hardest motherfucking shit that we have to accomplish. We're looking all around. I'm telling you, I have witnessed this shit for myself. I have witnessed deep motherfuckers who bypass all of the little. I was talking to my daughters earlier today about the little things. The little things help produce the grandiose things. Not I'm shooting for the grandiose and I just ignore the little shit. That's not how this shit works. The whole idea of a cult, if we want to keep it real, is just to go within yourself. That's what it is, to go within yourself, to go within your DNA. Your DNA is you enfolded, enveloped, to go into it. And so one way to go into it is how you go out. When you go out, your relationship out here in this world is part of you going in. Everything works like a fucking seesaw. Everything is what it don't look like is what it is. All right. I'm fucking tired. I'm exhausted. I've given in to the fire in my chart and the water. But the air is still very prevalent in what I'm saying, because this shit is stuff I've pondered over and thought about. It's just coming out this way because I don't know. It's hard. Just think about. I know I jump around. That's how my mind works. But what I'm about to say now is to to explain what I said before. Being the number one is the closest number to the suffering, is the suffering of zero on the other side. Put it that way. Zero is nothingness, right? But one is the suffering on the other side because it's now a thing. Because one is where the zero has become a thing, but it's a whole thing, right? Okay. And that one in Hebrew is called ehid. Ehid would coincide with our English word ahead. I watched my father suffer for being ahead. Being a leader ain't and it's not about being a leader of people, but a leader in thought, a leader in thinking. Because that means if you're one, then you're not the rest of the pack. That means you're the groundhog who, when you go to Chuck E. Cheese, the groundhog to stick his head up out the little hole so everybody can come and try to hit your head. That's what ahead means. You stick your head out from the zero realm to be seen. Okay? That's rough. That's rough. You know, it's rough because make no bones about it. Groupthink, we all worried about, everybody's worried about fucking Bill Gates and AI and this and that. Look, groupthink is already in full force. You don't even need Elon Musk and all these other people to do whatever. Groupthink is fully ingrained and it's in full force. Do you know it takes a lot of courage for me to say what I'm saying right now because I still have the wounds of not being like everybody else. And it's very timely. You know, my generation, I'm 43 years old. My generation, we have what's called Chiron and Aries. And right now we've got Chiron is in Aries and Mars is in Aries. So what I'm doing right now is confronting my fear. And I'm and I gotta be kind of Cancerian right now, you know. I got to, you know, I'm letting my guard down and showing who I am. You know, I'm a sensitive person, so I'm human. Okay, I'm still human. So every human wants to fit in, it's to some degree, or else you fucking full of shit. That's just natural. Humans are communal. Okay. So this is a act of courage for me just to say what I'm because this is not a popular message, but it's authentic. It's authentic to me. I see things. And a lot I just don't say. So this is the time to say, and to not be worried about the wound of not fitting in. Fuck fitting in. You know, I've talked in the past these videos about confidence. Confidence from confide. Confide is an occult word. Confide means to go within. And you know, as a child, I didn't even fit in with my brothers, to be honest. I didn't fit in. I didn't fit in at school. I understood metaphysics unbeknownst to me at a very early age. See, I grew up in a metaphysical world because meta means middle, between. I was in between the hood and upward mobility. My mother's family is fucking, They hood. Well, women and shot men and all. I'm talking about, you know, yeah. But what's funny is that my mother and father both grew up poor. But the idea of being like ghetto, that didn't come around, I say, like maybe the late 70s or 80s. But they were different. My father they grew up very poor. But it was different, you know. So I was in between two worlds. Harrison's kind of looked at me, oh, that's Henry's son, you know. It was almost sometimes like a you feel a degree of not, like I said, not fitting in, you know. And then you want to try to fit in, and it just, you know what I'm saying? What it taught was I had to find who I am. I had to find my confidence in just who the fuck I am. And I gotta wrap this up because my babies are coming. They're gonna run a wreck shot. Okay. But I apologize for all of the cussing, but fuck it. Take it or let it alone. Brother Jamal, this wraps it up. Stay down until you get up. When you get up, stay down. This has been Candyman Codex Part 4, the word game. Peace.